Get you all set up. Okay, are you guys ready? You guys are here on an amazing Sunday. Tell your neighbor we are here on an amazing Sunday. Okay, so we are going to invite Timberly Leslie is a part of a ministry that has just been birthed called the Glorify Project, and I've invited them here this morning. They're going to share their testimonies and then just give an invitation of how we might partner with them. So would you please welcome Timberly and the team.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today and to introduce my friends who are with me that are doing the nonprofit with me. So this is Billy and Emily, and this is Marion. And we're just going to share a little bit about what we're doing and why.
So my name is Marion, and I am the co-executive director of the Glorify Project. And we are a group of 4 women who came together through trauma, like rape, abortion, facing abortion, the lack of being able to have children, and just having a child from rape. And we just want to come along other women that are in these situations and give them a place to go, a place where people can talk to them and give them advice that we never received when we were in these situations. And our ultimate goal is to open a maternity home for women between 18 and 25. And we just want to let them come in, and we want to teach them life skills and parenting skills and give them counseling. And that's our ultimate goal, and we hope that you'll come alongside us. Thank you.
So I'm Timberly, and some of you guys know my testimony, and some of you don't. So I'm just going to share a little bit. I'm super thankful and blessed and really honored and excited to be part of this. When I was 18, I found myself pregnant, and I ended up having to go live in a maternity home in Southern Oregon. So that was an amazing experience for me, and God did a lot and met me there. And I'm really excited to be partnering to have a maternity home also. Another piece of my testimony is a couple years later after I had my son, I found myself fleeing domestic violence and pregnant again. And out of desperation, I chose to have an abortion. And man, the things that come with that, just the rage and the anger and shame and self-hatred, a spirit of suicide attached to my life for many years. But Jesus is bigger, and he sets us free and heals us. And so my passion is now bringing healing to women who have had an abortion. And it's 1 in 4 women in America have had an abortion. And it's something we don't talk about. It's kept secret. And shame is born in secrecy. And so it's just my heart and passion to release freedom through Jesus and healing to people and see them set free.
Amen. Woo. Yeah. Hi there. I'm Emily. Co-founder of the Glorify Project, and my testimony about 14 years ago, my husband and I were pregnant with our first son, and we found out at the 20-week ultrasound that our son's life wasn't viable. He had a complication called bilateral renal agenesis, which means in his developing stages, he didn't develop kidneys, and in doing so, there's no amniotic fluid and then no lung function. So from that appointment on, specialist doctors continued to tell my husband and I, you should terminate, it's the best decision, and try again. Every appointment was met with that. Why are you going on with this? And we knew God does miracles. And we told our doctors that, which was received with kind of crazy looks. And so much can happen in the womb, as we know. So we continued the pregnancy. Our son was born at 33 weeks, and we had an hour with him, and then he passed away of natural causes of his complication. And to finish the testimony, 4 months later, in the midst of that, in our grieving, and it was the most difficult season that my husband and I have been through, we found ourselves pregnant again. And if you know God like I know God, he is a restorer. And in our trusting him through that pregnancy, we found ourselves pregnant 4 months later with twins, and they just turned 13. They're right here in the second. And so God is so good, and he's so faithful, and we know not everybody's testimony ends up in a miracle and a life, but they're a continuation of that testimony. And so my husband and I, through the Glorify Project, want to come alongside men and women and treat them with dignity. If they receive a diagnosis like us, so many doctors and specialists just want that quick one and done, terminate, and there's no dignity, no compassion, or very little. So we want to be able to come alongside men and women and offer that, our arms, Jesus, our heart, and let them know there are other options and that we're here to walk that difficult road with them. So.
Hello, my name is Billy, and I'm also co-founder of the Glorify Project. And my story is I found myself 21, having a good time, partying with some friends, and ended up being raped. Not only being raped, but lost my virginity at the same time. And I felt I will hide that forever. I can go to the grave with that. No one will ever know. And I ended up being pregnant, which you can't hide that. So I had all those options that society tells you about abortion. And I am so grateful that I had a mother who was grounded in Jesus. And I grew up with the whole Right to Life movement, and so I had that seed planted inside me. So I'm like, well, I could put the baby up for adoption, but then I knew someone in my family would adopt that child, and I was like, well, I don't think I could live the rest of my life knowing that's my child, and I'm auntie to the child. So I just said, Lord, I'm going to keep this baby, but you have to help me. You have to cover my eyes for me to never, ever see my rapist in his face, to raise him as his own. And God has done nothing but done that. He has covered my eyes. I never, ever see my son from what his biological father had done to me. He is a whole person, and God has just covered him. My son is 23, and he is like my best friend. We even have tattoos together that say mom and son. So, like I said, Emily and I became friends. We were at the church, and the pandemic said, don't get together. And I'm like, probably not. So we came together. We told our story. We're like, let's do this. We've always had a yearning on our hearts to speak about this. And Marion was our connector to Saving Grace Maternity Home and up in Hillsboro, and they've just kind of come alongside us. I sent an invite on Facebook to Timberly, come join our group, and she's like, I have to be a part of this group, and it's just kind of brought us all together. Again, we just want to have this maternity home. We want to come alongside these women. We want to nurture them with God's love and grace. No judgment, nothing like that. We want to be there for them, with them, give them skills to be a parent, some things that you just assume people would know, and they don't know because we need to teach them, just like God teaches us. We don't know everything about God because he's like, always got to tell us stuff, right? So that's what we want to do, as well as we need partners in our endeavor for this home that we want. Prayer partners are what we need the most. Without prayers, we can't sustain what we want to do. So we would love for you to come join us as prayer partners. We also would like to also have the ability to have donations come in for the maternity home, but even for right here, right now. If you know a girl that needs someone to talk to, we would love to be able to speak with them. If you can give us donations of gift cards for coffees so we can just have conversations with them or take them out to dinner, that is something we would really love to do, and that's something we here and now. We are also looking to have what we would call like a baby shower type of donations for women who need diapers and wipes, maternity clothes, baby clothes, until we can actually get the ball rolling on this house. Mm-hmm. So if we could have that walk alongside us, we would appreciate that.
Awesome. Really quickly, and those are all the amazing ways to partner. This morning, as we were getting ready to come here, we were all texting each other, like, we're nervous, Jesus is with us, yay, And I really felt like the Lord was saying, this is a message, along with many messages that we don't often hear from the pulpit, right? Like Timberly said, with shame, and we keep it to ourselves, and we're in a season that the Lord is like, freedom is here. And so this morning when we were texting, as I was brushing my teeth and getting ready, the Lord was like, freedom is here, and it's me. Not me, Emily, Jesus, you know? And that this is a topic, along with so many taboo, that need to be spoken from the stage, from the pulpit, in the love of the Lord, you know what I mean? And no judgment, and that there are, like Timberly said, 1 in 4, and then I think I heard the stat 1 in 2 have had a pregnancy that was unwanted. And so there's so many who have been impacted by this particular subject, and we just want to provide an open door, a place where you can come and just talk, and we will listen. I even had a woman recently on Facebook who was in her mid-60s, almost 70. She had an abortion early on in the 60s or even late 50s, however many years ago. And she goes, I just need to tell somebody. And she goes, no one knows. Her own parents never knew. I don't know if her boyfriend at that time knew. And so she just sent me a direct message on Facebook and was like, you're the only person who knows because you're talking about this with dignity and compassion and offering Jesus. So it's just, we want to just offer an open door to men as well, because this impacts men as well. And then women to be able to come, and we don't have to talk to you. You can just share. We'll listen. So we thank you for your time to listen to our message.
And we are going to be meeting the first and third Mondays of the month here in the prayer room. So if you've experienced abortion, if you've been impacted by it, if you've had infant loss, we would love for you just to come. We'll pray with you. We can listen to you. Just a time of fellowship and just being Jesus to one another. So you're all invited to that too. The information's on our website, but it will be you're challenging me now. We have 2 different meeting times. So the first Monday will be 1 to 2:30 in the afternoon, and the third Monday will be 6 to 6:30 to 8. So we have a couple different times for women who might be working or can't come during the day. So.
Okay, so like Billy said, there's lots of ways to give. Prayer, number 1, is the biggest thing. Please cover us. We will have like an email list out in the lobby where you can put your name and your email if you are interested in being either on an email list. We promise not to spam you. And where we can give prayer requests, or you can say, I'd love to partner with you guys in prayer. And then dignity items for moms and babies, gift cards. But there's a house. Well, right now there's a house. It's in limbo. And really, that's our end goal, is to have a house in the Willamette Valley. And again, financially, our biggest fundraiser is the down payment. And the house was in Philomath, but we recently saw that house had an offer put on it, so we're trusting the Lord for something new. But yeah, so if you feel so led to give financially, that's a really hard thing to ask. It's funny, as believers, we have a tendency to not ask for financial, but if the Lord puts that on your heart, don't look at it as you're not giving to us, wild ladies. You're giving through us to these women in need, and to these children and dads too. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. I just really wanted them to come and you to hear each of their stories, because every person carries a story, and when God connects with that story, there is always redemption and restoration. But then there's always other people with a similar story that are looking for that redemption and restoration. So I just wanted you to hear their stories. Again, you can give online if you would like to give financially. They're going to be in the lobby after the service. You can talk to them there. Be a part of that, or maybe you have people in your lives that you would like to connect with them, whatever that looks like. So I just really appreciate them coming this morning. So thanks so much, you guys. All right. Are you guys ready? So I have 12 pages of notes.